Hi, what's up? We're in the second part of this particular video. Please go check out the previous part to gauge your bearings. But just a small little recap on the first part. I was just basically speaking against faithlessness dwelling in my country, that is South Africa, that has caused me to be attacked by a whole bunch of venomous, virulent, diseased agents in the matrix that thoroughly are bewitching me precisely because of their comprehension or their knowledge of my South Africanness. And never mind them being aware of my South Africanness, but they're also afflicting the living daylights out of me with sorcery because of the fact that I'm so small. I'm so small. Like, my YouTube channel is yet to take off. I am struggling. I have gathered for myself slightly more people that watch my content, and by slightly I mean literally ever so marginally. It's nothing at all. It's nothing at all. Okay, y'all know I'm struggling with my watch hours. I spoke about that in the videos before this one. I was lamenting. I was blowing the house down, huffing and puffing like a big bad wolf. And those small watch numbers have caused a severity of underestimation of the actual girth or veracity of what I speak, or even value, quality of what I produce or deliver. I'm going through a trial, a season of hardship, and that hardship has made a relatively decent human being just largely ignored by the society in which she is living. To account for that largely is the fact that a prophet has no honor in his own hometown. I'm a Christian living in South Africa, having been lambasted by the rejection of South Africans, and I am doing everything in my mighty power, in the mighty power of God, to get the stepping on out of this country. I have got to leave. Very thoroughly do I have to leave this country. So thorough must my departure be that there ought not be any fingerprints remaining in this country anymore of me. Basically, any evidence of me having been here needs to be deleted once I have left with bleach. That's how badly I gotta leave this country, because of how much they just cannot leave Christians breathe. I spoke about that yesterday or day before, right? Please go peruse that content if you want to. But my unperused content, just like with anybody else, perception management, just like with any other human being, perception management is key, right? Big content creators on YouTube are the best off. Why? Because as soon as they upload content on the machine that is YouTube, they have got 10,000 people out here flooding to hear what they've got to say for today. So once their videos have been up for like 5 hours, 10 hours, or whatever, they've already got thousands of views. And so that's the kind of stuff that will cause a human being, based on just basic behavioral psychology, it'll cause them to equate that particular video with quality work. They tantamount the number of views that a video gets in a small amount of time with the quality of that video. And if it's a lot of views after a very small amount of time has progressed, they automatically imagine that this is worth a while to watch, which is why it is absolutely bizarre that you will find millions of people watching mukbangs. It's because so many other people have watched people eat. You will find millions of people watching ASMR videos because somebody's busy unwrapping some gifts, and so many people are watching it. There's millions of people watching a strange little story time that makes absolutely no sense, like videos that will leave you feeling dry and abandoned and left and neglected and abused from within on YouTube for having watched all of it, trying to find out why does this thing have 1 million views. You don't understand why, but thoroughly, the 1 million views are pushed by the fact that somebody gave that video 100,000 views at all. And so by perception alone, people are going to watch that video because why are 100,000 people watching it? It's like spectator value. Thank you. That's what it's called. It's spectator value. It's spectatorship. It's like when there's been a car accident on the side of the street, and the reason, and these cars have been moved out of the way by the paramedics, or the accident happened in a place where frankly traffic can still flow type establishment thing. But then there's like this ridiculous traffic just chock-a-block, like all the way back, and by the time you pass that scene of the accident, you are actually expecting to see carnage, like bodies sprawled all over the floor. Meanwhile, there's these people talking, exchanging insurance details. It's just a little bumper bashing. Top of that, both vehicles are completely off the road, but because you can see an accident has happened, people actively slow down and they watch and then they drive. Slow down, watch, and then they drive, and that's what causes a whole chock-a-block all the way to the back. Yeah, well, 100,000 views is the kind of stuff that makes a person watch. What is this thing about the 100,000? Whether or not the content is actually worth a while, whether or not it's carnage, bodies strewn all over the street, whether or not it's actually like buses that have bombed on the highway, or just a bumper bashing where a person even no one was hurt, it'll still nonetheless cause a whole bunch of traffic, making everybody late for everything. precisely because the first few people watched, and so everybody else is going to watch. Everybody's going to get to work late. On the day, there's a bumper bashing on the highway with the vehicles that have bumper bashed having moved out the way. There will be traffic just because the first few people watched it. Okay, that's how it works, unfortunately, with the human race. It's how our brains operate. It's how our brains are tuned. We are just like that. Even I am, a victim of that. I guess it's like human nature. Even I, myself, tend to underestimate. I have to like talk myself out of it. I have to retrain my mind as to how to think about quality because of all the rubbish I have seen on the internet, all the rubbish I have consumed on social media just because it has 1 million views. I have had to retrain my mind to not equate quality with just numbers. So that's how I have stayed my hand from watching viral videos. That's why they don't get recommended to me anymore. So that's why I also don't watch Mr. Beast a lot anymore. Like, just videos of dancing amapiano. People wonder, why is this girl getting 500,000? What is this like? Why does this girl have like 3 million views? And then you just see this girl dancing in a mini skirt, and you just like, the whole video is just so worthless. It's so worthless, but it's gone. All those views and all those likes, spectator value. So I have stopped clicking, even though my finger is shaky, on why something has got 100 million views. I've stopped, despite the fact that I can't. I've got an addiction. I've had to discipline myself. So now I am being responsibly recommended to by YouTube what to watch, because I am choosing titles and people that are highly likely going to give me value upon me consuming that content. The title speaks more volumes about what in the world is being spoken here than the actual thing inside the video. There's nothing. There was a time when I was watching mukbang after mukbang after mukbang. I just could not believe the amount of gluttony I was consuming with my eyes. I imagined that I was participating in the mutiny against the gluttonous mukbanger by just continuing to watch their content, because they literally reeled me into this ASMR eating video that is a sin against God. And I had to nip it in the bud myself, because I realized I was helping this person sin. So get out. Get out. That's just how social media operates. It's not the best people that are being proliferated. It is the ones that have caused a bumper bashing on the highway. And unfortunately, I have yet to cause my bumper bashing. I would love to cause a bumper bashing. I would love to have a small little accident. It doesn't even have to be a carnage. That will get people to basically cause a chock-a-block of traffic around my particular scene of the accident, even though I've moved out the way for people. I want a video to blow up. I would absolutely adore for a short to blow up, and therefore lead people to my long-form content, or even one long-form video to blow up, so that I can just make all my watch hours and all of my subscriber numbers in one sitting. Like, I would love that. I would love the jackpot video that is going to be viewed by people because it's being viewed by people. But I'm not there yet. I haven't gotten there. I am asking the Lord for that, because I am in such a severity of attrition, and I'm being afflicted by so many stupid South Africans right now with sorcery, that I need a boost. I need a trampoline. I need a video that's going to be a trampoline, be it in short form or long form content, but it's going to lead people to my long form content. I need a jackpot video. All my videos are jackpot, I would imagine, because I'm speaking in Christ. But I need one that's going to be given the perception of being a jackpot video. Unfortunately, I have to rely on the perceptions of men. Human beings are the ones that are going to make my video look like a jackpot, even though it's already a jackpot. I personally have my own favorite videos that I feel are really important to be watched. But sometimes the video that launches you is not the one that you think is a jackpot. But thankfully, as Christians, we are made fishers of men by God, and not by mere mortals, not by human beings. So whatever it is that is going to be my jackpot video, which is what the Lord has communicated to me is going to ultimately happen with me. I don't know what it is. So all I can do is just continue to, just like with a slot machine hoping to win the jackpot, I've just got to continue to dump content until one day I get my jackpot video out there, right? And that's what's good. Yeah, until that time that I get that particular jackpot video, I'm being very richly disrespected. So I am strategizing to get to that jackpot. Perception, thanks to behavioral psychology, has caused people to, therefore, I know I can be long-winding in explaining, but really, I enjoy speaking, so we shall do it. Plus, I'm gifted at it, so don't hate. Righto, I am being underestimated, undermined in terms of the quality of my work. Like, what it is that I'm doing, what it is that I say, and even the watch time, like basically people holding on to my videos, they're underestimated just because they're underestimated. just because I'm not getting launched fast enough, just because I am not heard, just because after 5 hours I'm still sitting on 0 views, after 2 days sometimes I'm still sitting on 0 views, and sometimes after 5 whole days I'm still sitting on 0 views on some of my videos. If I'm really blessed for the day, I will be sitting on like maybe 10, 12, 15, 20, 30 views on a video after 5 days. But I mean, really, if you go and you look on the panel on YouTube where there are recommended videos, and a video has been up, and it's got that small little tag next to it written new, so basically it's been uploaded within the past, I don't know what makes for a new video, but I've seen videos that have been up for like 3 days still being called new. Yeah, so a video that's been up for just a couple of days and it's still called new, but despite it being new, it's like sitting out here on 26,000 views, 5,000 views, 3,000. That's the kind of stuff that you click on because you can tell that it's growing. But if it's like on new after 3 days, and yes, it's new, so I mean, come on guys, like give me time, but like it's got 5 views or 12, you don't click on it. I have done that. I personally have done that. I am guilty of doing that to people who the title draws me because I'm interested to hear what you gotta say, what you gotta say. But then just by mere virtue of the fact that this poor YouTuber is only sitting on 33 views after 2 days, I will literally just slide right by them, like swipe left like I'm on Tinder or something. I will just leave them. Even though I was low-key interested, it is wired into our psychology to be like that, and by the Spirit we have got to put to death that particular nasty deed of the body. We've got to give people a chance despite them being small, because God's word says so. Okay, one body, many parts. If one part of is small and, you know, minuscule and what you call negligible, you can't function without it. You need an ear, you need a nose, you need a tooth, you properly need all the parts that come with the body, so you can't ignore the body of Christ. And there are a lot, I am one. There are a lot of unsung heroes in the faith of the Lord Jesus Christ, or unheard content creators that are all sent by God. They have been sent by God, like all of them, and they therefore are very important in their ecosystems where they're at. They've got a message to speak, and yet they're struggling to reach people because they're small. And the body of Christ is not even helping proliferate them either, because they are inclined towards imagining that somebody has got a valuable YouTube channel to watch because they have gotten so many views. Because they are, yeah. So, I mean, I'm grateful for content creators who are sound, who are voracious, that are Christian, that are putting content out there that is really, really gifted, and we love it type thing. But it's a sad case, or a sad life, or a sad day for some of us who produce relatively decent content that will only get better with time in terms of quality of edits. But I mean, really, quality of the message will likely stay the same, because quality of the message is from the Holy Spirit, right? So a person is coming here with something very important to share that ought to be heard, but it's not being heard because perception. 5 people have viewed it in 2 weeks, and because of 5 people having viewed my videos in 2 weeks, in 5 months, in a year, because of no people having viewed my video after 5 hours of being uploaded, I thoroughly have been getting attacked. As in South Africa, I'm sorry, like, no. I have been getting attacked by random weird next door neighbor type women and men that think that I am suddenly viable and feasible for them, like proper, thinking that I am in your league or something, because nobody watches my videos, inclining themselves therefore to the folly of thinking that my content lacks value, that my content lacks importance, understandability, or even quality. I am being undermined. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I'm not being viewed. And a part of me is merciful to those who undermine me, because I do it too. To those people that don't get enough views after the first few hours, even though they're of high quality. I understand why this is happening to me. But what I can't take in my stride, underestimation I can take, because I've underestimated people for not having big views. So I can have mercy on the human condition that tends to think that something has quality because it has many views. But I cannot sit around somebody that then goes and grabs that underestimation and then thinks that they can do to me what black folk do to people in their radius when they dabble with witchcraft. Bewitch them. I have got a trauma, quite an exquisite one at that. A history of people bewitching me that have not known me for more than a week. I had a colleague at MTN that I became fast friends with, and within 3 weeks of starting to work the job, she had massacred my career. I have worked in environments with men that have seen it fit to ask me out using witchcraft without even talking to me once. Hit me with korobela. I have been direct messaged by people that I chat with for like a week too. Next thing, I get a dream about them bewitching me. Some woman from South Africa did that to me. And when I called her out, when she basically got caught with her hands in the cookie jar, she then decided to harass me in the Facebook DM space for like a week before she finally shut down due to the fact that I didn't respond. There was recently some little teeny bopper. I called him a teeny bopper because he was much too young for me, but nonetheless he was overzealous and ambitious. Man, God, like he was a Gen Z, he was a young boy, okay? Could be no older than 28. I'm almost 40, I'm 39. Slapping me with Gorobela, and his intention was not even to marry me, but to just merely jolla, to know what it's like, Ulo Shapale Roma with a 40-year-old woman. He was just like fanatical, experimental, with the fetish of being with an older woman. And he imagined that it was okay for him to experiment with Gorobela on me because I responded to a direct message of his because I considered it encouraging, the words that he wrote me. I imagined that he was a brother fellowshipping, trying to comfort a sister, and then he makes a decision to do this thing. That's the kind of stuff that I can't take in my stride. Like, just because I humor you as we odd humor people, because that's what the Lord will have us be, kind, yet another fruit of the Holy Spirit. Do not then go on right ahead and imagine my kindness, the tantamount of the equivalent of me being a sister that you feel like I gotta be better than, or a woman that moves in next door but you've got guababa. You're scared to ask her out, and so you help your agenda along. You basically make sure that you set the waters right for her by first casting a spell on her, and then only you go to talk to her. It is the fact that I live in these Johannesburg streets that has given these people this kind of bravado. And it is also a combination of their behavioral, psychological state of underestimating my work because it's under-perused. My work is not viewed. I've yet to have a little accident on the side of the street that's going to get me spectators. People viewing me just because people are viewing me. I've yet to have that little accident, and until such time that I have that accident, until I crash in a short or crash in long form content, I have got to run away from subscribers that resonate with me enough to subscribe to me, but somehow start to think that I am their next door neighbor Pinky, and therefore allow themselves to grow feverish envy or megalomaniacalism, just a power hunger to control the life of a woman you don't know. These people are manifesting demons because they have been mixing Christianity with the darkness. And having subscribed to me, they then are like agents in the Matrix. The devil can just hop into their bodies to afflict a Trinity they can see, to afflict a Neo they can see, to afflict a Morpheus they can see. They are involved in the darkness. They subscribe to a Christian content creator because they are mixing Christianity with this stuff. Perhaps they want to get out from the darkness, but they presently don't have deliverance. They are yet to be truly freed. Neither have they entirely surrendered to the Lord. And so even though they want healing from their practicing of dark arts, bottom line is they haven't arrived at that space. Plus, they also don't have comprehensive conviction that they need to walk away from this stuff. Because like I said, this is Africa. In my first part, please go check out my first part. In Africa, almost every second person, maybe every 10 people out of a room of 12, so even more than half, will say, especially when they're in the black community, whenever something falls apart in a person's life, they will almost more than any other time default to the fact that they have been bewitched. It's a common understanding, a common knowledge in Africa. When somebody falls apart, it is very quick for people to blame family members first and then friends. Because Africans are out here slapping each other with sorcery 24 hours a day, eating it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's just what they do. So when a person falls from grace, when their stuff just does not work out, Africans automatically default to, it must be witchcraft. Now, due to that default, I spoke about that as well in my first part, and due to the impatience to wait on God, also the lack of trust in God, the lack of faith. When you don't have faith, you can't please God, so of course you will turn to witchcraft. They then imagine, even though they've been raised in Christian households, they imagine that seeing as I lost everything in a bizarre way, I have had like what appears to be a freak accident happen to my life, they are highly unlikely going to turn to Jesus Christ, despite having been raised in Christian households, despite having been taught the Bible by Gogo, because in and of themselves, they did not study, they were not Berean, they did not get raised up in understanding to count the cost of being a disciple, and also to comprehend the holiness of God, and the justice of God, and how the Lord is jealous for the church, and how he will not share, like his servants with other gods. They don't grasp their heads around the attributes of God. And so because they are ill-trained, they're therefore ill-equipped to deal with spiritual attacks when they come at you. When you live in an ecosystem that is a barbaric spiritual war zone, when it's like Haiti, everybody's practicing voodoo in every second household, when you aren't really solidly, firmly grounded in Jesus, you will be tempted to think you need to protect yourself with the high priestess. You will think you need to go and protect yourself with the high priest. And that's what happens in Africa. That's what happens in South Africa. That's where I'm from. What happens in these streets is that Christians, Demas left us because he was never of us. So really, when you walk away into sorcery, you were never of us. Unless you're a prodigal son, in which case you ought to be coming back real fast. Otherwise, you're just a lost cause. It's that basic. They go and they test out ancestral worshipping antics, witchcraft, hedging themselves with salt, pepper, spice, and fenugreek. Hedging themselves with bones, taking baths and herbs, putting random red ropes around their waists and their wrists, cutting themselves. We don't know what they do. They partake in all of these rituals to protect themselves because apparently, allegedly, Jesus is not quite doing it fast enough. All they remember of Christ are those hymns they sang in assembly at school. All they remember of Christ is that meek and lowly thing, what they imagine to be the lack of power that Jesus walks in. The lack of power. I once watched this one African young lady on TikTok talking about how it is that Christians need to just shut up already because there is no power in Christianity. And then she goes on right ahead to show a video on the side of witchcraft being practiced in Africa. Of some dude flying on like just he was flying, he was levitating, I don't know what, like astral, like, he was just flying. And he's like, Christianity, can you show me this? No, of course not. That is not the kind of power we operate in. We have been created by a holy God to live in this dimension where we are not supposed to be flying. Birds of the field were created, of the air, were created by God to indeed hover in the expanse. Not us. We were never supposed to fly. Like, God never planned for that to happen. But guess who is hovering above ground level? Extraterrestrial, precisely because they're not terrestrial. Otherwise known as entities. Fallen ones. And so they will award people powers to get out of their body and come back astral projecting and also, I don't know, fly. And people think that that's power. They think that that's power. No, I'm sorry. If you are out here escaping the boundaries within which God will have you operate on the earth he created for you to live in, honey, on that day, you are walking with entities that are going to put you in an environment where you will be separated from God for eternity, thanks to having followed them. You are mistrusting the Creator who gave you rules with which to live on the earth that he provided you. But you want to go and make like entities and fly around in the cosmos. So of course you will think it's power. But it's written of such human individuals as these in 2 Timothy 3 that they have a form of godliness but deny what? The power thereof. Because the power of God is not in making human beings fly or levitate or astral project. It's in delivering us from the powers to come and also in ushering us, guaranteeing us by the deposit of the Holy Spirit, eternal life. That's true power. If you can escape hellfire forever, ever, honey, that's power. That's power. Power is not going to where the majority of the earth is going when they die. Hell. So you hold on to the person who's got power to snatch you from those flames. But all these ornate, shiny, ostentatious, like flagrant, buoyant, boisterous, drum beat rolling acts of Satan cause Africans to believe that if at all I were to pray to Jesus, I am not going to be delivered from that flying witch, from that astral projecting rando in these streets out here using cosmic powers of the age to come that are not of God. You will thoroughly award more respect to a bit of a nanakwaku bonsami out here throwing you fireworks displays with some satanic ritual, shooting a bullet into the sky that can nobody see because he's a magician. You will think there is power in freaky, eerie, funny stuff that causes people's houses to have poltergeist activity just because your cupboards are opening and closing due to you doing a ritual over a Ouija board. You then imagine that's power. I'm sorry, that's stuff that's supposed to creep people out who are living in the dimension where stuff like that is not supposed to happen. And when it's happening, you've opened a portal and it is your prerogative, therefore, now to seek out the Lord's face to close it. That the entities that came through may get out and stay in the second heaven. But you are just bringing things from the second heaven into our plane, and then you think that that's power. Those of you who have teamed the earth, polluted it, therefore, with all of these demons by all of your rituals, you are about to find out that there is no power in doing stuff like that in the tribulation, because these things are going to be walking among you, and now you're going to want to wish you can squeeze them back into the second heaven, since they have pierced into our realm. You will have invited them with all of your occult magic. I'm sick and tired of being poison darted by random Africans like we're still in 1878. Like proper. I'm some animal in the wilderness that they're hunting. I am sick and tired of being poison darted by stupid men trying to make me their wife. And I'm also sick and tired of being poison darted by stupid women trying to make me capitulate to the agenda of wicked men. I spoke about this the other day, that men and women are working in unison with each other to water down the resolve that, never mind, I'm standing in, but the resolve of many other Christians. Leave me alone. I will not be out just speaking my languages. Just cause I can speak isiZulu does not mean I am your best friend or your neighbor. I'm not that person. Black people, you bewitch your radius. You bewitch your ecosystem. Like Zoom. I spoke about Zoom in my first part from the show The Flash. You think you can destroy your entire ecosystem, however, have somewhere to hang your coat. You cannot bewitch everyone in your periphery and not destroy your whole country, including where it is that you put your head on at night. You cannot bomb the beds of 5 households in your village and not expect that your own pillow is not going to explode as you sleep. You cannot massacre your own town and expect that a gunman is not going to walk into your room and massacre you. You cannot proliferate this rubbish and expect South Africa is going to remain buoyant. And I've been trying to get out of the cesspool of darkness for a minute, but you're not interested. Guys, the people that have put witchcraft on me, some of them were such little snobs. They were such elegant men and women, so classy, that this stuff just made me feel like, but like, how did a guy like you do that? Like, so much swagger, just walking around in these streets, so much class, so poised, so decorous. What a gentleman. And then you go and you do witchcraft? Are you serious? Like sabotage and at that prolific level, like spiritual manipulation of a whole person. Like, I'm just imagining this person chilling in front of a sangoma asking for Karabo to have a one-night stand. That is probably what one of my really near and dear former friend guys did to me. A guy I knew from primary school. Good peoples with that dude. Wits University as well. Attended with him. Turned out to be one of my boyfriends in the future, friends. And we were all here, chest bumping. Hey buddy, how you doing? How in the world you gonna want me to go and have a one-night stand? It's Khaled. Some dude have my body and then walk away from me, leave me crying. I had a dream of that dude arranging that for me because he was embittered that he had too much fear and guababa to pursue me when we were still kids. He had an opportunity when we were in varsity, and he just basically squandered it. And then I ended up dating his friend years down the line. And then he decided that he's gonna punish me for his guababa by making me basically fail in love after my relationship with my ex ended. Where it is that every guy that I will end up with will just use me as a one-night stand. Well, little did he know that I gave my life to Jesus Christ. And so I don't fornicate at all. So all that spell just fell on deaf ears. If I had not turned my life over to God, how that would have manifested is that I would have, after my ex-boyfriend, found myself just having what would be the tantamount of bad luck in love. Guys that would just use my body and let me go. Like, imagine that. Then again, he wouldn't have been the first to try and do that to me. Such a classy dude. Absolutely elegant. And yet he was out here doing that stuff. That's South Africa for you. You can't trust nobody. Just because the dude knows how to put a good suit together. Just because a dude knows how to like match a belt with a shoe. Just because a dude knows how to wear aftershave. How to wear cologne. How to wear a crisp shirt. And how to speak grammatical English. And how to hold sentences down in an interview. Does not mean that he's actually truly classy. People you would never expect to do this shoddy stuff. Doing it. Driving your perfectly healthy vehicle to an unhealthy sangoma premises, causing it to witness all of your abominations since creation groans to see the sons of God revealed. How is this classy dude driving to this trashy premises just to go and destroy the life of a woman he could not shell on time? That is South Africa for you. I am sick to hear with this country. I'm done. I am done. I am done with South Africa, guys, like in the worst way. And I am going to strategize like a dog to be done truly. To truly be done. I'm leaving. I am leaving. Africans, I'm sorry. Just the fact that we have got to leave Africa to be set free from your futility is a travesty. And then you blame the West for why it is that Africa is struggling so much financially, socio-economically, socio-politically. You blame the West when y'all can't leave each other to be. Keep on bewitching everybody in your villages. Your friends, people with whom you clubbed, you partied, you broke bread, you cried at the funerals of people that passed away that you all knew mutually. And then you go and you take that person and you demand that they have no future. I am 39, having never been married, no children, nothing. Literally, you pulled the rug from underneath my feet and you squandered an entire future. And now you're trying to finish me off because, oh my goodness, Warrenta, she's exposing us. I'm sorry, no, I'm leaving. And I'm gonna go. Why? Because that very Jesus that you don't trust because you like all of those ornate fireworks, he's going to show you that he is God. With his peaceable and tranquil spirit. With his providential way of working things out. With his yoke that is easy, his burden that is light. Without causing Karabo to levitate or astral project, fly. Without causing Karabo to disappear and appear again. Without causing Karabo to cause weird little strange incidents or accidents in people's lives and then me feel like I'm powerful because I could manipulate people's stuff remotely. Without me bewitching a single one of you, I am going to come out scot-free with my hands clean from all of y'all's entanglements. I am going to be set free by the God you underestimated. You understand what I'm saying? The God who gave me rules and said live on this planet within time and space. This planet within the rules I've given you to live in it. Do not dabble with entities. Don't poke into the second heaven. Don't deal with devils. Suffer the witch not to live if at all there's one among you. And I decided to honor him. And y'all think I ain't got no power. Because you like seeing your sangoma levitate. You like seeing your sangoma grunting over some bones and stuff. You like to watch your spiritists award you the ability to grab a remote control and control a person's life. You like it when people are puppets on a string, making like mindless drones because you done did something to them. You like it when you look at your girlfriend leave you and then not be able to stay gone, coming back, groveling, begging like Judith in Temptation to Harley. So yeah, it's Harley. Yeah. You like to watch people that were supposed to basically door slam you, get out, come back because you call them back, bring back lost lover. You like to watch yourself appear to be powerful. If anything, my ex-boyfriend, yeah, he has been given more grace than a lot of y'all. Because he slapped me with a remote control that he bought from a sangoma called Bring Back Lost Lover, and I never came back, and still to this day he's embittered and he's severely embarrassed because his stuff never worked because I gave my life to Jesus Christ. All of y'all, however, never got given the same grace. His embarrassment is actually a gift from God. Because Bring Back Lost Lover I did not work. Some of y'all, however, not only brought back lost lovers, but you brought back lost friends. You brought back lost siblings that were sick and tired of you because you were toxic. You brought back so many people. And now you pride yourself in being this person chilling with multiple remote controls. One belongs to Refilo, one belongs to Pinky, one belongs to Tepo, one belongs to Tato, one belongs to etc. And you just keep on doing whatever it is that you want with them. People that just cannot walk away from you even though you are toxic. I don't want to live in an environment like that, where people pride themselves in being destructive, but hey, they are going to maintain their own little tiny cocoon because they, after all, have got to have somewhere to hang their coats. Like Zoom in the flesh. You think you can destroy the whole country and preserve your own legacy. You look like a really great dad, a great mom, a great boss. You look like you got a great career. Only one. You thoroughly think that you could be exempt? Well, herein lies the communique on a rooftop, okay? Since I'm a city on a hill and everything, I'm in Christ. Yeah, nah. Judgment is coming to South Africa, not just the rest of the village except your little corner of the Kral. All of y'all are falling apart. Yesterday there was a 24-hour power cut. We felt it too, because when there's a power cut for that long, we also get a power cut at night. Due to the fact that the solar panels cannot deal, they need to be recharged by electricity. So I was not able to work. That's why I uploaded my content as late as I did. But like I remember thinking, all of these dastardly South Africans, they don't have power for 24 hours a day, so don't lament when you gotta shower with cold water because the geyser only operates with electricity. And do not lament when there's no electricity from like 3 a.m. in the morning up until 7 when the sun is fully up and now the solar panels are rebooting because South Africans don't have it for 24 hours. In other words, y'all are judged. Y'all are judged, and somehow the Lord has ensconced his saint in a house that has got solar panels 24 hours a day. So I don't feel the pain that you feel, but you've got jobs. But despite having your jobs in 9 to 5 corporate South Africa, you still cannot do things properly. Your robots are perpetually off. There's like chock-a-block traffic from here to Timbuktu. Whole bunch of accidents thanks to the power cut crisis. Life has never been the same ever since a particular time in this nation, and yet you think that this is a going concern? You think this is a going concern. You thoroughly imagine that this here nation is not judged. I apologize. It is so obviously judged. Your economy is only going to continue to spiral downward from here. You might anticipate that you who has got a healthy job are going to install solar panels on your house, but at the end of the day, the economy is made up of small to medium enterprises, people in the lower rungs of society all the way up until the higher echelon. And so therefore, if the lower rungs of society cannot keep the economy buoyant because of the fact they don't have electricity, even the higher echelon are not going to survive. Do you understand what I'm saying? The whole country is going to fall apart, not only because of power cuts, but because you're corrupt. You keep on voting wicked leaders into presidency, into leadership in all different structures. The opposition parties that you trust in are racist, for crying out loud. They want to kill the Boers. There's just all different kinds of weird stuff going on in this country, and you think that this is something that's going to be recovered from based on what? I mean, really, like proper. Take Newton's law of motion. Herein lies Newton's law of motion that can be applied to also psychological constructs. Yeah, an object in motion will stay in motion unless acted on by a resisting force. So, what exactly is resisting this wickedness in South Africa? What? You are on a downward spiral, you are on a downward trajectory, and there is nothing stopping it. Every second day, or maybe every second hour of every single day, there is a new person being inducted into the occult because they found out that their next door neighbor bewitched them. You are on a downward spiral, hitting the ground running, with gravity having a field day with you. You will inevitably plunge to your death unless there is something that resists the downward spiral that you are in. Unless something stops your motion, you will be finished off. You will reach entropy. You will literally be done for as a country. And I keep saying, this object of yours of darkness, with all of this wickedness that you're in, that is currently in motion, can only be stopped by Jesus. But y'all don't want to believe that. You literally think that you can fight fire with fire. except according to God's word, which you don't trust. A kingdom divided cannot stand, okay? And so therefore, the kingdom of darkness cannot stand if it goes against itself. So since the kingdom of darkness is destroying South Africa, given that that's what dark entities do, kill, steal, and destroy, it will not then go on right ahead and thwart the destruction of South Africa. So you cannot use disangoma to cure yourselves from what it is that other people who consulted disangomas did. You will only add insult to that particular injury. You will only continue to spiral downward. Jesus, the one you don't trust, the one that you imagine, that upon trusting in him, you basically are like one who's throwing yourself off a building, trusting that something is going to catch you. The way you so don't trust him, yeah, he is the only one who is the antithetical, in the most comprehensive capacity, force that can actually stop dead in its tracks. The kingdom that you all are leaning on. The kingdom that is causing you to consult disangoma even though your grandmother raised you better. The kingdom that's causing you to bewitch all of your colleagues even though your mama raised you better. The kingdom that is causing you to trust in witchcraft to bring a woman into your life even though your daddy taught you how to mack a girl. Yeah, that kingdom can only be stopped by Jesus. The kingdom of which has brought about, just by the way, gender-based violence in this country. The epidemic of gender-based violence is largely it is to be blamed on sorcery. Why? Because witchcraft is forceful, it's coercive. Korobela is coercive. Korobela is date rape. Korobela is trying to force a woman to be with you, and if she doesn't want to be with you, you are then going to force it with entities. Once she wakes up, snaps out of it, realizes in a relationship that I'm not supposed to be here, waking up in the morning also and everything, she will then want to get out. And that's the kind of stuff that causes some pretty possessive men who have held a woman hostage with sorcery to be like, I'm sorry, not on my watch, bah, and then just kills her. These occult loving men are killing women because they're leaving, because they realize that they didn't even want to be here in the first place. They don't know how in the world under heaven they ended up at Koma Uvosi in the office. How? How did they end up embracing Vusi in the office when they did not like him? They thought he had halitosis, and now she's out here walking down the aisle to him, I'm sorry. So now Vusi is out here wearing orange because it's the new black. Danga Rico San City prison because he's killed his fiancé that wanted to walk away before they got married. That's all that witchcraft produces. It's an object in motion, and it's hitting the ground running, speeding down the highway with no brakes. But for Jesus. However, you don't trust him, and so you are afflicting like agents in the Matrix his unfortunate servant, and she is exhausted with you. I am tired out of my mind, inebriated with fatigue. I'm jaded. Do you understand? With all of your sorcery, South Africa, I am thoroughly done. I'm done. I'm done with you. And you might not believe me. You might not anticipate that I actually can truly, successfully be done with you, but you're about to discover that I am. You're going to find out that I am. Because the Lord God Almighty is the one that gives me wisdom. He's the one that gives me what I need to say when I need to say it. And he is also the one that opens a door that no one can shut. You've been shutting doors all up in my grill. Door slamming me. Proper. In my nose. Ga, ga, ga. Thoroughly anticipating that the only opportunity. You're funny. You're hilarious. It's laughable. You thoroughly imagine that the only opportunities that I have, being as girthy as I am, are in South Africa. Are you for real? I need to help my cat. You think the only opportunities that are available for me to basically escape the grain of all of this lackluster, no-brainer activity going on in this random country, you anticipate that the only way out is through South Africa. You think the only way out is through South African banks, one of which closed my account because it was inactive for a minute. You think the only way out is through South African platforms. You think the only way out is through South African corporates, through South African employment, through South African opportunities. I apologize. Last time I checked, the world is so incredibly globalized that people can make their whole salaries from other nations from home with nothing but internet access, and that's exactly what I have got right now, and that is exactly how I'm going to get out of this country. Understand, it is going to happen. By the time I'm done with you, South Africa, you are going to be like North Korea, and I'm going to be like a defector in North Korea. The world is going to know just how deeply involved in serious, nasty, dastardly activity you are, to a point where people are literally oppressed by mere virtue of being born in your nation and being unable to escape at all. You are going to be testified against, never mind by me, but by so many people. Things are going to get taken out of the woodworks. You're going to get exposed. The stuff you are doing is presently unsung. Nobody is hearing about it, but I am speaking volumes to it. I'm speaking truth to that particular reason. However, you are trying to block me from speaking that truth, and I'm going to highlight, I'm going to speak it. There are too many people suffering. Literally, too many people. Too many people are suffering. And look at us having gotten out of apartheid, and yet we are still oppressed in one way, shape, form, or another. I apologize. Too many people, especially in the black community, are having a hard time doing anything at all. You are out here wondering what is with the unemployment statistics of the country. Well, I mean, look at such a highly skilled woman being unable to make a single rand. Well then, I mean, if you don't want me making rands, it's okay that I'll make dollars. If you don't want me making rands, it's alright, I'll make euros. It's okay. Like, I don't need your lackluster rand that out here keeps on plunging as the nation in and of itself is perpetually on a downward spiral. Like, I don't know what last time the dollar rand exchange rate, what it was. But it's been abysmal since I was a kid. and it just keeps getting worse and worse, and you think you're not judged as a country. There are nations in Africa that are 2 rand to the dollar. Two currency, whatever that country's currency is, 2 to the dollar. So in other words, $1 buys them 2 of their particular currency. And yet in South Africa, we're sitting on what, like 18 rand, 20. I literally do. I apologize. You are judged. The dollar is currently right now suffocating. It is struggling. It is having a hard time breathing. Why? Because of the fact that it's doing, America is sinning. And so God is allowing them to be shaken a little bit. And yet, despite all of that shaking, South Africa is still suffering ever so abysmally. You think that belonging to BRICS is going to make a difference in your life? I apologize. The participant that is South Africa in the whole BRICS conglomerate is often viewed by the world as the child that everybody invited to play with in the school playground because nobody else was playing. Like, nobody fears South Africa out of the whole BRICS conglomerate. Just because they belong to BRICS does not make them fearsome. You should be bigger and better than that. There are smaller economies in Africa that we were bigger than ones that are growing at a faster rate than us. They might not be at our level yet, but they're growing at a faster rate, so inevitably they will catch up and then defeat us, defy us at some point. And yet you thoroughly think that you've got a future. I mean, why do you think the South African economy is plunging? Why am I not part of it? Why am I not able to contribute to it? Why am I not able to participate in it? And why am I about to receive a salary from the United States of America after 10 years of unemployment? Why is that even a thing? But anyway, that's your South Africa. Keep it. I don't care for you anymore. I am done. I have already left this country. You've executed me. Only reason I'm still alive is because I'm Lazarus. God keeps on raising me back from the dead over and over and over and over again. But according to South Africa, I've got a headstone at West Park Cemetery. According to South Africa, I'm already dead. It's only a matter of time before they do the unveiling. Yeah, I am a dead woman. I am as good as dead. And you thoroughly think that a woman that has been killed multiple times, I'm making these streets like a ghost, walking around all up and haunting you. You thoroughly think a woman who has been that decimated, unable to do anything at all for herself, is going to stay in the country? No, I do thoroughly apologize. Who? No, come on. Like, I am still gonna get married. I'm still gonna fall in love. Who is gonna be at my wedding? Who? None of you. Because I'm getting married in another country. Is that basic? So I don't have to be humiliated by a lack of presence on my side. All that will need to be there is someone I can pay for the flight off to travel to where I'm at. Like a mom and a sister. 1 or 2 family members that are immediate. But it will not be too taxing, neither too taboo for me to have absolutely nobody on the bride side at my wedding. It won't be taxing if I am in another country. But if I stayed in South Africa, I mean, come on. Like, all y'all randos that I used to go to like primary school with, y'all are not going to be there. High school, y'all are not going to be there. Colleagues from corporate South Africa, y'all are not going to be there. Papa, everybody that I went and grabbed for myself, like trash in a can. Yeah, in a dustpan. None of y'all are going to be feasibly invited to my wedding because you will have made me a byword. Something living on the dregs of society that's just weird, anomalous, strange. Ominous, creepy, that weirdo chick, that Mzalwane girl, like proper, you made me a freak. You made me a freak. So I mean, of course, let the freak go get married in another country then. Let me go get married somewhere else where it's not going to be that taboo when there's no one from my side, because after all, I'm from South Africa and herein lies Karabo in another country. Like, everybody couldn't fly over. It's expensive to fly people over. It's going to be a travesty. There's some of y'all not there, but frankly, good riddance. Because this here is the Johari window, the quadrant of it, where you've been extracted out of my life like I'm proper door slam. I'm done with South Africa. I've tried. Like, for years on end, all you keep doing is bewitching over and over again. And then the thing that makes me especially verse, like the thing that causes, like I said, my head to blow open and there's like molten lava coming out, just bubbling. And with my face dripping with all of that molten lava like ice cream melting, is the fact that complete strangers I don't know on the internet think I'm their next door neighbor, seeing as they like to bewitch everybody on the radius of them. Yeah, enough for them to go and cast spells, spending money that they earned in their salaries on me. On me. Like that, I apologize. That for me is the thing that's like proper, it's the gavel. It's the last like judgment, the ruling in a court that says guilty, you're done for. It's the sentencing. I am finished with South Africa, Judas. I am finished. So finished am I that I am thoroughly targeting any other country, any other countries as an audience, as audiences on my YouTube channel. Strategically to a point of disquieting myself. However, I already do have strange hours, so it's okay. Where it is that I am going to deliberately upload my content to suit first the American timetable and then everywhere else that will follow suit accordingly. I have made a decision to literally publish my content on the internet at a time when South Africans are fast asleep. I am making a decision to first and foremost proliferate my content among other people in other countries so as to maximize the amount of support I get from there, because I am not getting it from South Africa. Right now, I spoke about this yesterday or day before. Most of my views, most of my supporters, most of the people who subscribe to me are from the US. I spoke about how it is that 40% of them are from the US. 14% are from South Africa. Even though I publish my content daily at like midday South African time. At midday South African time, I think it's like 6 a.m. in America. People are still waking up. Ain't nobody out there trying to watch a YouTube video, especially not a long winding one. And yet, despite that, somehow they tune into me when they're alert and awake at 2 p.m. in their country. Despite all the sin they're walking in right now, they're giving me more water than South Africa ever can. So I've actively made a decision to target an American audience. I am targeting America. Because South Africa, I'm done. First, I had to walk away from TikTok because TikTok proliferates South Africans. They try to push you to South Africans first. And then if South Africans like you, you will then be seen by people internationally. So, and Facebook also does that. It's like they lock you in a South African jail. And if you do well in South Africa, they'll send you to America. I hated that about Facebook and I hated that about TikTok. I absolutely hated that about both platforms. And indeed, I got severely persecuted on both platforms to a point where I'm just like, it's worthless now. I spoke in my video of yesterday or day before yesterday that the only reason I still upload at all on Facebook is because of the fact that I like the interface. It awards me an opportunity to be able to basically review my work, because the Reels page on Facebook does a playback, whereas on YouTube, there's no such opportunity awarded you. The playback spot on PC, on YouTube, it's laggy, it's weird. You can't watch it, plus it's not big enough. And I don't like going inside my videos because I don't want to see how badly I'm doing or how well I'm doing, because watching my stats, looking at my stats is the bane of my uncomfortable existence. So Facebook helps me with that interface, where it is that at upload time, I get to see exactly what it is that people are going to be seeing. So I enjoy that. That's the only reason I still upload on Facebook. Otherwise, I would have completely abandoned Facebook too, and literally put all of my eggs in the basket of YouTube. I spoke about that yesterday or day before. I stand corrected. I think I might have had a day where I was not yet. I had reprieved you from huffing and puffing and blowing the house down concerning my small little nature on YouTube. I realized that I'm shooting myself in the foot by insisting on talking to South Africa. Guys, like literally, I do apologize. I'm not doing this with you, South Africa, anymore. Do you want to know why? What pushed me to this particular edge? Do you want to know what pushed me to this particular edge? I had two dreams. Let me tell you the first one. I had a dream of some female I do not know, but I was aware that she was a South African subscriber of mine that cast spells on me. And in this dream, she was supporting me in basically lambasting and cutting apart into a million pieces a cousin of mine that keeps on bewitching the living daylights out of my life. So basically that which was done to me by my friends and family members of the past, she was in concert with me out here, maybe even shaking up some pom-poms on some rah-rah cheeky. She was supportive. However, she was also controlling. This chick, in the dream, as I was busy walking some streets with her, she led me to, listen to this, a taxi rank. Every single time I see taxi ranks in my dream, I always see involvement of control. Taxi drivers in this country don't have a very strong reputation for being awesome or whatever. They drive people around and they are a source of transportation that a lot of black people feel forced to use because they have no other options. It's a very, I can't say it's very violent. I mean, goodness, I used it from the time I grew up all the way up until I got a car. But it's not preferred. It's not the preferred mode of transportation. Ever since Uber became nice and cheap, or Bolt, or all of these other alternatives, people who can afford to, who don't have cars, rather go out like that and pay an extra premium because taxis are just uncomfortable. There's a lot of violence in encircling that industry. They fight for routes, and so sometimes passengers are caught in the crosshairs. Plus the environment where it is that the taxis operate out of, like taxi ranks, they're dirty, they're filthy, they smell like urine. Like, it's a very uncomfortable place to be in. And before you get your vehicle, you just have to ride it out until you finally gain that prosperity in getting a car. And also, a taxi driver drives you from one place to the next and mixes you with a whole bunch of people. And a lot of people who are in taxis are essentially misplaced, in the sense that they're bound for bigger things in life, but they're not yet where they need to get. And so they will always just be clumped with all of poverty-stricken Black South Africa. Therefore, taxis in my dreams have always represented being kept in a grain. They have always represented also being controlled, being driven when you should rather be driving yourself. They represent you being maintained in a majority or a population mass in the center of the normal distribution without being special, without being set apart. Whatever it is that are your dreams, essentially you having not yet met them, just being part of the grain of Black South Africa. Going through the moats, swaying left to right on a dinghy in the center of the ocean. That's what taxi drivers always represent to me. Not drivers, but the taxi industry. Like taxis, whenever I see them in my dream, they always represent a grain of back in the day, where inside there are also a lot of people that are misplaced. But a lot of people who, despite being misplaced, at some point skyrocket. In the future, they shoot out and they never turn back. They never look back. They never ever get on a taxi ever again. I was one of those people. And I got a whole bunch of South Africans trying to take me back. Mina to Amadex in your comba, mina yempel. I gotta go me. Short left, short right. Sorry, driver. 5 rand, counting money in the front there. What are you doing? They also represent a form of control. If at all you are not driving your own vehicle, then somebody else is driving you somewhere, aren't they? And you gotta pay them to basically take you where you want them to take you, and you hope that you're gonna get home safely. That's what's good. Yeah. An inability to control your own destiny, chart the course of your own destiny, basically make plans and fulfill them. South Africa, every time I dream about the curse on this land, I just see taxi ranks. I just see downtown Johannesburg, I see Brie, I see North, I see all that stuff. That's the Lord showing me how many South Africans are kept in a grain of nothingness because of how many South Africans are involved in witchcraft, preventing South Africans from prospering. Our economy should have skyrocketed above all of Africa. Nigeria is Africa's biggest economy. South Africa should be that. We should have excelled above all of Africa in the worst way by now. How many years now? Is it 30? Ever since democracy, ever since apartheid ended. And yet we are still in a grain. If anything, we've regressed. And some other African countries who are smaller than us in sub-Saharan Africa are growing faster than us. And so at some point they will catch up and exceed. I've already spoken that just earlier in this very part. Yeah. Because of the fact that South Africans are stuck in a grain of taxis. They are at Brie. They are at North. They are at Kort. I don't know if Kort is still there. They are at Van Brandis. Yes. That's where South Africans are still at. But Van Brandis. You're still at Van Brandis, North, Kort, Brie. You're still there. Bustling streets of downtown Johannesburg, all needing to get in a taxi where, albeit smelling like DKNY perfume, you're sitting next to a person who smells like Baji, Zol, mixed with all different kinds of other trash in this country. Misplaced entirely. You come from a call center job. You're headed for bigger things though. This individual that reeks of Zol is coming from we don't know where. But you're in the same space for now. You are therefore, or you ought to be therefore at an intersection where that person is going there and you're going there. But there are people in South Africa that are keeping you sitting right next to the person on Hang Patch. Sitting you right, causing you to sit right next to the person on Hang Umfufut. Literally, they are causing you to be maintained in a life that does not suit you. It's what I'm getting at. Look at me living in a shack at the back of my mom's house despite being so intelligent. Can't break out of this grain. Cause me, I'm sitting in a taxi. Me, I'm out here still combating at Brie. Me, I'm still queuing at North in the morning, snake-like queues, freezing in winter, shaking like a leaf, only to go to some beautiful corporate in Rosebank. I was supposed to break out of that grain. I did, in fact, break out of that grain. I did. And now South Africans are thoroughly trying to keep me in it, eh? How many dreams have I gotten of me being a waitress at Wimpy? Wimpy in particular, like it's a big Wimpy le rata. How many times have I seen that? Me waiting tables. Guys, I'm not trying to be classist here or self-important, but I am much too intelligent to be waiting tables. I am much too much of a gem for this country, much too valuable for much bigger things for this nation for me to be waiting tables. And yes, South Africans, Lay Janes and Jones in these streets are insisting that I go and I wait tables. You thoroughly think that because I can't make rands that I can't make dollars? You think because I can't make rands, you think I can't make euros? You think because I can't make rands that I can't make pounds? You are playing dangerous games, South Africans. You are playing dangerous games. You are playing dangerous games. There's a reason I have a PayPal account. Do you understand? It's because I'm not expecting most of my income to come from South Africa. You are playing dangerous games. Let's get on board. Don't come here and give me bottom vibes. Just don't do it. In this dream, this chick was literally hand-holding me, walking me towards Brie and North. Brie and North, which are both taxi ranks, those of you who are not from South Africa. However, as we were headed towards, and we also went through Chinatown. Now, Chinatown in my dreams always represents an environment where you go and you buy counterfeits. Things that aren't real. So fake Gucci, fake Fendi. Chinatown, that's your joint. Or an environment where it is that they will sell something expensive for a very low price. You go there essentially for bargains. This chick was walking me through Chinatown, and after going through Chinatown, we then ended up in downtown Joburg, headed for North, having passed Brie, however. She's basically trying to downgrade me to something that is going to be 10 for the price of 1, something that you can buy at Chinatown, or for me to find a husband wa mokokotelo. Fong Kong, somebody or Rasang from Chinatown. Some counterfeit bugger of a man that has not been set apart for me by Jesus Christ. For me to go and buy him like a Gucci fake at Chinatown and flail it before some people who don't know the difference between the real deal and a counterfeit. And then after walking me through Chinatown, hey guys, yes, like, you know what, witchcraft in this country, I can't. I don't know how much she paid her dastardly sangoma to do this for me, to do this to me. And then she took me to downtown Joburg, right? And when we were supposed to go to, what is this? To North, the road was barricaded and North was gone. North was gone. It was gone altogether. It was nowhere to be found. And when I woke up from that, and the dream is not ended, by the way, but I'm going to explain to you what happened prior to that, in that dream. When I woke up, I was like, God, why was North gone? What were you trying to tell me there? And the Lord immediately said, the shutting down of a coven. A coven in the country got shut down. It's been shut down. It's gone. I was like, whoa. So out of all the taxi ranks, out of covens that are running this country into a pit, a grave, one major one has been shut down altogether, and I don't know which one it is. The Lord has shown me that a coven has died. But despite one coven dying, from the efforts of the remnant in the country, the efforts of the small little remnant of Christians in the country, there are still all the other covens of Brie, of Kort, of Van Brandis. There are still too many satanic organizations operating. And so therefore, seeing as South Africans don't want to repent, even in the observation of the shutting down of one major coven in the country, like one major, it is so, by major, I mean as in it controls the affairs of the country, all the way from like at state level, coming down to us down here in these streets in the civilian space. It's been shut down, it died, because Christians made enough war with it until it was dismantled. But it was still not enough. We are still living in downtown Sodom. Is that basic? Our efforts, in other words, are falling on deaf ears in the lives of South Africans. They are not fighting for their own country. And Etina, we cannot be worn out. We can't be exasperated into oblivion. We can't be fighting and closing down one coven while there are 5 others still operating, and individual late Janes and Jones in this country, South Africans, are happy to proliferate the agenda of their coven along. They're practicing witchcraft. They're sending people to the Sangoma, etc. That coven died because of the efforts of Christians, but others are operating because South Africans are not repenting. You are lukewarm, you're seeker sensitive, you are mixing Christianity with all different kinds of nasty, dastardly stuff, and on top of that, you're claiming to be Christian. You have a form of godliness, but you deny the power thereof. That's you. This chick was trying to take me to North, but it was closed. And she found herself just kind of twisting around in the street there, trying to see which taxi rank she could take me to. And I was busy following her around, tailing her. I don't know this woman. It's some woman from South Africa, a new subscriber to one of my 4 channels on YouTube, that decided that she's gonna freaking control impilo ya marangazi lo muntu. She does not know me. And she made a decision to cast a spell on me to control my destiny. Leave me in a grain. How you gonna go envy a complete stranger on the internet to a point of controlling her? Let me show you one other thing. Let me tell you one other thing that I was shown in that dream. This woman walked me through some kind of a commercial center where I saw a Woolworths, a Woolies. I see Woolies a lot in my dreams. And a lot of times when I see Woolies, I see it's a luxury brand, right? That is high end in terms of food, especially. And every time I see Woolies in my dreams, I'm always robbed of something from there. And it's always like dangled in front of me as a carrot. Like if at all you're gonna ever shop for what is this, food again at Woolies, if at all you're gonna buy your groceries ever again at Woolies, if you're going to buy those desserts from Woolies ever again, this is what you need to do. That's like, your witchcraft. I'm done with you. I'm done. This chick, the only place that was high end in this dream was me being in Woolies. And I saw my former boss there, some woman who bewitched me. She was there also proliferating this agenda with this strange chick I don't know in my dream. And on the floor was a cell phone that I was stepping on, scrolling through it, right? With my toes instead of my fingers on the photographs of. And on that cell phone was a daughter of mine. And I understood myself to be a single parent. And that daughter of mine that was being scrolled on the phone by my toes, I came to learn ever so like immediately, instantly in that dream that she was my kid, and I loved her very much. But I understood that there was no baby daddy. I understood that I was a single woman, and that I finally got to have the baby that I've always, well, I want babies. But in my dream I had just one, and it was a girl, and she was talking to me in this phone. Could have been like maybe at that stage like 4 years old or whatever, talking to me, calling me mommy and everything. And I felt so blessed that at least I have a child now. At least I have a child now. Why was that phone on the floor, and why was I scrolling through it with my feet instead of my fingers? Essentially, that was somebody taking away full control from me. I have full mobility and control to, manipulate or handle a mobile device with my fingers, with my hands. If you are manipulating your phone with your feet, you have less control. There's less you can do with your feet on a mobile device than what you can do with your fingers. Essentially, this woman was taking away my ability to control the outcomes of my life and restrict it such that I would basically not have everything I want, just some of what I want, like a child. And that's why I was scrolling through my cell phone, looking at a child like it was what do you call this? Like a video call, talking with this kid, scrolling through a cell phone with my feet because the phone was on my feet. And this chick was still holding my hand, essentially running me through what are her plans for my freaking life. And she was basically saying, why was this thing happening inside Woolies? She was saying, if you want to find yourself shopping for desserts, groceries, and all your luxury items again from Woolies, you will let yourself have a baby before wedlock, whether or not the baby daddy is around. That's the only time that you will ever see the inside of Woolies, scan your card, and walk out of there with groceries costing 5,000 rands. She was basically telling me, if you don't want to end up at Brie, if you don't want to end up reduced to nothingness, if you don't want to end up combating taxis, if you want to go back to driving a car, maybe even an SUV, you will do this. Get a baby so you can be controlled through it. And even then, what's with the insistence on a husband? Like properly single mothers club. I had to go and join that. Be in the grain of all these women that got to the age of 40, 35, 38, 37, and because their biological clock was ticking, decided to just give any random dude a baby because they did not want to have their womb expire or menopause or whatever before they had children. This chick was basically telling me, she was telling me that I'm 40 and I'm forceful. Who in the world do I think I am? Just have a child. Just have a child. Then you'll go to Woolies. Then all these things that you want, you like stupid snob. Yeah. Stop sitting around Lana in these streets thinking that you're going to get anything from Jesus. That was a woman that did that to me in a dream. And she was trying to get me to walk in the footsteps that she has fashioned for me. The dream ended with me seeing that not taxi rank. The Woolies scene was intermediary between the Chinatown and downtown Joburg. I had to speak about the Woolies portion last though, because it was the most poignant one to suggest what my future ought to be, given that I'm a 39-year-old woman that's apparently trusting on a God that's not coming. South Africa, I'm sorry, gross. Like, you're disgusting and I'm getting out. I told you, by the time I'm done with you, I'm going to be living in a different country, making like a North Korean defector. That's actually talking about how Kim Jong-un is a violent, dastardly beast that should not be getting taken seriously. He's a mean, mean guy. I will be testifying about what you do to each other. I told you, this country is not going to recover fully from this thing that it has done, even if it repents. Only your Turin Gen Alpha, not even Gen Z, are going to inherit a land flowing with milk and honey if there is repentance. But without repentance, even they are in some kind of ominous waters. You're evil. You're evil. This country is done for. There is no way that it is in a blessed space at all, because look at it. Look at my life. You took away a woman's entire decade, a whole decade, and you are still bewitching my ministry, my channel. So basically, that feverishly evil woman that subscribed to me and then decided that, nah, I am Pinky from next door, enough for her to bewitch her. She is obviously involved in darkness, however, also dabbling with Christianity, and she also felt it necessary when her entities rose up in her to bewitch my future because they all feel like they gotta control my life. Now, if random strangers can do that to a random stranger so far away as the internet, what in the world is happening to you with your next door neighbors indeed? What is happening to South Africa at large from complete strangers? From people you befriend on Facebook, a friend requests you. Do you know how many people bewitched me from watching my life on Facebook? They were my friends, some of the people of which I accepted their friend request. They did not know me from the past. It's not like they were from my high school, my primary, nothing. They just befriended me because we had a lot of mutual friends. And then they watched my life on Facebook and decided that they're going to thwart it in some way. Never met me, never shook hands, didn't even speak in the DM space, just some random person whose friend request I accepted on Facebook. Now, there are people who accept 5,000, like random, weird, all different kinds of friends on Facebook, all the way up until the maximum number of 5,000. So when you've got 5,000 people looking at your fabulous life and you don't have a hedge of Christ around you, and they keep on bewitching you because you are from Rodibot and they live in Kyalami, so it's not that far away. They think that you're their next door neighbor. So for those reasons, they feel like they can just kick your entire career to the curb. I got bewitched by complete strangers that don't know me on YouTube. And of course, people that I last saw in primary school, people that I last saw in varsity first year, people that I last saw in my first ever job in corporate South Africa, yeah, they decided to go and just pull the rug from underneath my feet. People I was not in active communication with, camaraderie with. I was not actually actively fellowshipping with them in any way. I was not in their lives. I was not attending brides with them. I was not going shopping with them. Nothing. I was not talking with them. I was not studying with them. They were that distant and they bewitched me. So, I mean, how much worse then was the witchcraft coming from those who were in my space? That is South Africa. The only way that Africans appear to be able to breathe is if they get out. Get out altogether. You don't want Christ. You don't want healing because you underestimate him. You want all of these ornate, showy, ostentatious, fires, where it is that you're seeing people flying, levitating, doing magic tricks to imagine that that's power. So keep your little devilish power and let the Lord take Christians out. The next dream that I had, it wasn't a dream, it was more like a word of knowledge, but coming through a song. And I've been hearing it for 2 nights in a row and I'm tired now, so I'm going to talk about it. There is a song by, I forgot the artist's name, some dude in America. Let me let you love you. Let me let you, baby, let me love you. Yeah, and the part that I hear is, bad as you are, you stick around, I just don't know why. Yeah, but baby, let me love you, be the one to, basically, you know that song, who's that guy? I forgot his name, Mario whatever. Yeah, an American artist, young man from back in the day. He's not so young anymore, he's a millennial, he's our age more or less now. That song kept on repeating on a loop, and the Lord keeps on telling me that's Gorobela coming from some total stranger out here trying to manipulate the outcomes of your life, telling himself that he is in a position to love you because apparently, allegedly, I'm like the other guy in the music video of that guy, Mario, I think his name is Mario. Yeah. This guy is making like Mario and he's singing that song to you through Gorobela, basically saying, bad as you are. By bad, you know, B-A-W-D, B-A-double-D. In other words, you're beautiful, right? Bad as you are, you stick around, I just don't know why. That's the one that keeps on getting repeated on a loop. This morning I was woken up with it and God was like, you cannot not talk about this, you have to raise it. Bad as you are, you stick around, I just don't know why. Who is he saying I'm sticking around with? Seeing as I'm chilled, seeing as I'm not dating anybody, seeing as I am not in these streets actively in a relationship romantically with anybody, I'm not dating, I'm not with anyone. I'm single as single can come. So if a man is busy saying in his mind, to a point of using Gorobela, trying to experiment to see if he can't take me, these people who feeling at me like they can shella minja fella in the sky with spells, I'm tired of you. If I'm sitting in another country, you won't then be saying, I'm dead as you are, you think I'm around, I just don't know why. You are not going to be pursuing me. Why? Because I'm far. I'm not in Rodiport, is what I'm trying to get at. I'm not chilling in some townhouse complex in Vilgejevel. And so you're calculating that it's only a 20-minute drive. So therefore you can say stupid stuff like, bad as you are, you stick around, I just don't know why. That's the same song that all these dastardly South Africans into ancestral worship are singing. They don't trust Jesus. Who in the world am I in a relationship with right now? Nobody. So who else is that man talking about? Jesus. You're so beautiful. And I don't understand why you keep on sticking around with this Jesus. He's hurting you. So baby, let me love you. Let me be the one to give you everything you want and me. Good love. I'm like, are you serious? Mere mortal. Do you know what one of the signs of the end of the times are? False Christs rising up from out of the woodworks saying that I am he. The Lord says that if there's a person rocking up on some I am Christ, ignore them. Don't take them seriously because the coming of the Son of Man is going to be like a scene from the west to the east in the sky. Everybody across the globe is going to see Christ coming. So don't believe them. Don't take them seriously when they say I am he. And with men trying to basically get me to walk away from God because apparently Christ has slapped me silly. Ever since I came to Christ, I got scratched. Ever since I came to Jesus, I got hurt. I'm like, that's just the thing. You're not studying to show yourself approved. You've subscribed to my channel too. So you call yourself a Christian. Only reason why you're subscribing to my channel. You hold fast to Christianity, but of course you're holding on also to all this ancestral worship and you feel as if though Christ, ever since I turned to him, has just squandered my future. Bad as you are, you stick around to what? Jesus. I just don't know why they thoroughly think that I'm sticking around to God only. And he is hurting me, just like the the villain in the Mario song, the music video. The villainous guy is the one that's cheating on the woman. Yeah, makeup on your baby. I see the makeup on your shirt. I just don't know why. Yeah, you can tell that he's cheating. I know you smell the perfume, the makeup on his shirt. That's what some of the lyrics say. Basically, this man is saying, I know you see that Christ has not worked out for you. You have seen how he has squandered your life. 10 years young gets taken. You're a beautiful woman and you're allowing your whole future to get taken away by this Jesus. Yes, like you're gonna get hurt. You are going to find out in the worst way that hell is real, that God is God, that Jesus is Lord. Every knee will bow and every tongue confess that Christ is Lord. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you will remember the day you went and sang, a Christian woman, baby, let me love you. I know you smell the perfume, the makeup on your shirt. I know you see that Christ has done nothing but hurt you. You've been waiting around for nothing, hey? But let me love you, because bad as you are, beautiful as you are, you stick around with Jesus. I just don't know why. Yeah, until you go to hell. It's that basic. Go to hell like proper ayang healing. I believe in Christ and he will deliver me. And all of this korobela, this manipulation, baby, then you love you, anything I want to, give you everything you want. Yeah, all I see is a false Christ, a false Messiah saying, here am I. Chilling on a mountaintop, I just starting a cult, saying, I am God. A man that's going to replace Christ in my life. No, I apologize. You're a mere mortal. You're fallen. You sin. You do all different kinds of, and on top of that, you do witch. I'm sorry. Like, ew. If a man does not love the Lord, ew. Don't be unequally, ew. But of course, the kingdom of darkness always uses that which is the Christian's season of suffering and season of testing to try and see if they can't just slip a fast one in. Bad as you are, you stick around. I just don't know why. Because he is God. That's why. And because I'm going to heaven, it's a pearl of great price. I sold everything I have in order to acquire it. Because I'm that wise merchant. So it's okay. Next. Like, move. Get out the way. But nah. I keep on getting harassed by experimental randos of a psychopathic nature, thoroughly trying to make Jesus look like he's abusive for enduring me through tests and trials that he warned me in advance would come. I counted the cost of being a disciple. So bad as I am, I stick around because he's the one that made me bad. He's the one that made me the BADD bad. He's the one that made me so gorgeous, so amazing, so wonderful, so beautiful that I would surpass them all to a point where you would try to disqualify and discredit the person who made me so awesome that you would use witchcraft to try and make me your wife Kankan. South Africa is like Gotham, crime state, and I'm done. I'm done. My strategy is to actively upload my content to target first America and then anyone else. So I'm essentially, and I've already started today. However, that was inspired by the power cut yesterday, so I can't really say that was me employing the strategy. But I am literally going to upload my content at night in South Africa around 9, 10, 11. Basically, okay? You must be sleeping, little witches. You must be fast asleep, snoring, Z's even coming out of your noses. Maybe even in the middle of an astral projection ceremony. So for those reasons, you can't really like do anything rash lest you should pass away in your physical body. While you're doing your little hauntings at night, and so therefore you don't have time to be scrolling through a YouTube channel. That's what I'm gonna upload, so that the first people to pick up my content will be sitting in America, and so they are less inclined to sing "Dance you want, you stink around, I just don't know why." They're less inclined, men in America, to think that I'm actually feasible. They're less inclined, even if they're witches. People who are subscribing to my channel at that distance, they're less inclined to think they can control me. People chilling in a different country are less inclined to bewitch me because they won't think that I am literally the fellow villager sitting in a rondavel next to them. I am in Roodepoort and you are in Sandton. The thing that's itching you is the fact that you're sitting in Soweto and I'm in Vilgejevel. That's what's eating you alive. You think that the distance, just because you can walk down the street and perhaps knock on my door, that then is the opportunity for you to bewitch the living daylights out of me. You always bewitch in your radius. So I am going to minimize the amount of people who bewitch the living daylights out of me by targeting an audience that is going to be disincentivized from investing money in witchcraft against a woman so far away. I'm targeting the US. First and foremost, largely because I'm leaving South Africa and I don't know where I'm going to, but I certainly want to focus my energies on America anyway. And secondly, because I'm highly unlikely going to get bewitched by an American audience, an Indian audience, and a Brazilian audience, because they're far away. And thirdly, because South Africa, you're done for. You will eventually happen upon my content. You're not going to ignore it. You're going to find me. I mean, right now, 14% of you are watching me when I upload in your waking hours. So it's going to reduce to maybe like 8%, 6%, when I start uploading at like 11 p.m. at night or 12. It'll reduce, meaning that it'll also lessen the pool of dance you want, you stick around, I just don't know why. I'm sorry, no. I'm leaving you guys. I want to reduce the amount of you that watch my content by several percentage points so as to minimize how much witchcraft comes to me. I am done with South Africans. It'll also minimize, like right now, a lot of the people that are DMing me are from South Africa precisely because I upload at 12 in the afternoon. I upload at 12 to 2 p.m. because I'm targeting South Africans. Now, Kyotule Facebook, it's gonna be nice and quiet in my blog. South Africans are gonna be gone. Then maybe I might get DM'd by Americans. Maybe I might get DM'd by people from other countries. They won't even know that I'm from here. But one thing that's certain, South Africa, I'm done with you. I'm done. I am going to reduce my statistics of how many of you watch me by several percentage points. Only those that are truly of God, that are watching me in support of me, that have subscribed to me because they truly genuinely are interested in the things of God, they will follow me because the sheep of God hear his voice and he leads them out. But those of you that are just stalking, hovering around YouTube and at 12 p.m, at 6 p.m, and just yawning, only busy scrolling through a short and you're like, I like this again, and then you like her, next thing you are bewitching the living daylights out of her. All of y'all non-serious people are gonna fall off. Only the serious ones will stick to me. Only the remnant, only the ones that are worth the while to hear me will stick to me, and in and of themselves they will seek rescue from crazy countrymen that are bewitching the living daylights out of them. So African Christians cannot breathe. So I am gunning for 5 or 8% of them. The 14 of you, the remaining 6%, I pumani pen. 7% engwe I able dealing I give back. Daddy, let me love you. Shut up. Just shut up. You've got Wi-Fi in your houses. That's the problem. You've got too much internet, or in the office. Instead of doing your work, we're now busy scrolling through YouTube, and next thing you find Karabo at 12. And 2 p.m. in the afternoon, you find her, well, the office is closed at midnight, isn't it? Unless you work in a call center shift overnight at 24 hours, maybe when I'm you might find me when I upload at midnight, scrolling through YouTube videos at midnight. But you will make up that 5% that do find me in the wee hours of the morning anyway. But the rest of these random dastardly beasts out your wasting company internet, I am done with you. I'm done. I'm done. I'm finished. You with Wi-Fi streaming in your house during power cuts, you are busy out here using your data bundles to listen to a woman that you are ultimately going to bewitch. Generator busy data bundle witchcraft. Like, nah, fix the country. I'm done with you. I am uploading at night, and you are gonna feel it. You are going to know. You are going to know. I am minimizing how many South Africans not only see me, but also contact me in the DM space. Because the random Gen Z, DM. I'm done. Like, literally, I'm here. I'm enough. I'm done. We are finished. Let the Lord deal with you, South Africa. But as for me, I'm done with you. That's what I wanted to say. I am now officially signing out in the name of Jesus Christ. I hope you've been edified. I'm targeting America. Watch the space, and my stats will probably boom as a result. Peace.